Hey guys, it's Onan with another commentary, and this time we're on Airstrip. I always try to bring fairly entertaining matches, so let me know if you like these matches or not, and if you like the content so far that I've been bringing out lately. So this was before I finished leveling up. I don't know what level I'm at in this match. This is, I think I'm like first or second legacy. I'm using Eddie's AK, which is probably the best AK unless you have Weapon Expert level 3. When you get Weapon Expert level 3, I recommend using probably Scope Zoom plus Accuracy mod, because that is really highly underrated. The thing about that combination is that when you're scoping in, it sort of concentrates your recoil better with the Accuracy mod. I don't know if that's really true, but it definitely makes the recoil not as jumpy. Like, I feel like the Accuracy mod adds some kind of recoil to the gun, because when I use the AK without the Accuracy mod, the recoil isn't as all over the place, at least as far as I can tell. But here we go. We got some people here. I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to get people in the trucks. I'm in the back here. I got this AK. I'm destroying and killing peoples. We got a kill. We got tripled, and I'm jumping and everything like that. See, part of the Uncharted's appeal to me as a player is that you can take on so many players and still live. But in this case, in this scenario, I did not live, and truthfully, that probably was not because of leg damage. That was probably because he was actually hitting me in the torso, and I was a pretty fairly easy target there, but, you know. So, here, it's a rushing for the hammer. There's some guys there. You know, I'm just doing cover fire at this point. So I go and roll and reload, and I'm going over here because they like to go for the shoddy, and they like to try and go around, and, you know, Airstrip is all about the power weapons. Like, Airstrip has always been about who can get the power weapons, and then if you get the power weapons, you might have the lead. You might not, because depending on your team, the players could be pretty bad. Now, right there is a technique I often like to do, which is blind firing first and then switching to aiming, because you do get some shots of your blind fire in there, but then you also can start aiming, and a lot of the time that's really useful when you're trying to evade gunfire and you want to retaliate without having to stop and start aiming, because you could be on the move and someone could be shooting you from mid-range maybe, let's say, and you want to get in close, but the only way to get in close is if you sprint towards them or something like that. Well, you can jump and blind fire in this game. So when you're jumping and blind firing, it makes you a harder target. And so if you jump and blind fire, that allows you to get a little bit closer, and you know, you're moving at the same time, making you a harder target. So that's what I was somewhat doing that there. But anyway, right now, pretty much Airstrip is about this popular area here. Players like to go here for whatever reason. I mean, they like to go to the rooftop and have the positional advantage of, the upper level advantage, because you have the advantage when you're at an upper level, so you can shoot down at someone. The player below has to shoot upwards. So, oh god, I'm twisting my own words. But you know, then there's a guy right here shooting me from the side. I'm trying to get him. I kind of chase after him here. I really wanted to kill him, because I noticed our team is, like, really close in kills. And so I'm blind firing, and I got him. So I don't know if I ran out of ammo here, or if I'm just switching. I think I just ran out of ammo. Right here I have the Para 9. Now, normally this is a really difficult gunfight. Like, I was almost dead here. If it weren't for that guy with the cluster bomb, I would have lived, and I would have been way happier, but I died, so I mean, it's okay. I'm going to die a lot in this match, but I actually do really well despite that, and in a way, I sort of carry the team, but, you know, let's see what I got here. Okay, Speedy G, yeah, that tells me I'm still running the kickback negative, so there's that. One really useful thing to do in this game is to roll while you're reloading. If you roll while reloading, it just, you know, it just makes it safer, like, to reload and roll at the same time, rather than standing there and reloading or walking around and reloading, because you're a smaller target that way, and you're not left wide open and stuff. So there's another tip. you know, you always gotta roll and reload whenever you can. Like, if you're low on ammo, or you did use up some of your ammo, I highly recommend rolling and reloading, because even though you could get shot while you're doing that, it still makes you a harder target than just walking around and reloading, or what have you, or aiming and reloading. So, and then there's this guy here. Now, again, I have the advantage because I'm shooting from above. I mean, I'm shooting from above. So, and here we go. Yep, Cal. So this guy was using, I think this guy switched to the Cal, I don't remember, but he was really starting to irritate me in this match, because the whole reason these guys are actually doing good now, or like they're keeping up, is because of that person. Because my team is ill-equipped to deal with the Cal, because they have no idea what they're doing. They never played this game for a very long time, and we're up against people that are using the FAL and the Cal, and you know, it's just, it's upsetting, you know, that these guys were on my team weren't very good, but that's what happens. So, I mean, that's what happens in Uncharted. You get terrible teammates, or you get mediocre ones, but you never really get good ones. Well, except recently, because they split the player pool up by DLC and non-DLC, but that's beside the point. Yes, this is also before that happened. So here, we've got this guy. Shoulder switching helps a lot there, but I died because of Quick Boom. Quick Boom, again, getting popular. You know, it was a very powerful kickback for a long time. I'm glad Naughty Dog did at least address that to an extent. It is definitely not as used anymore. It's still useful, but it's not as useful. So, there's that. I run Cluster Bomb personally right now, but I'm thinking of changing it up, because Cluster Bomb has been so unreliable to me. Like, I feel like it's such a situational kickback. Like, kickbacks in this game are so determined by how the situations you're in. Like, how, like, the scenarios you're put in, how often you get put into that scenario, and when you can use it. Like, if you can use a kickback in any situation, pretty much that makes it the best kickback. So you look at stuff like the RPG and the hammer and the T-bolt and the shotty, and you're like, why would I not use those? I mean, why would I use Cluster Bomb over those? Because, well, Cluster Bomb can help in situations like the zipline room on the Chateau. But again, that situation is only on one map. That's not on every map. So, I mean, it's all about player preference in a sense too, but it's like, you know, this game is highly situational, like, heavy. It's like, you're pretty much building your loadout based on the situations you're put in, and I'm often put in situations where I'm just, you know, fighting a large amount of players, or I'm just moving around the map. So I feel like Cluster Bomb helps me in that regard. Now this, I don't know why this guy did not fall over. He didn't even have team safe. He had double negatives, so why didn't he fall over? Can anyone explain that to me? He wasn't using Juggernaut even. He was walking normally. So that was really awkward. Like, that was a really strange moment, and I got knocked over, so that was pretty dumb. Like I was saying though, kickbacks, like, how good a kickback is really depends on the situations you can use it in. If it's so versatile, like you can use it in any situation, it's probably a really damn good kickback, so, and you should be trying to use it. So stuff like Cursed Idol, not gonna cut it. Not gonna cut it. Stuff like Smoke Bomb, still not as good as something like RPG. Sorry, the passive kickbacks really need something to give them some kind of advantage over, like, some kind of advantage at least, but that's something else entirely. So, here we've got me shooting this guy, got multiple people, I got stuck to the wall, I think I meant to roll there, and that would have helped. I would have probably gotten away, just barely. Here we're in overtime. It's actually going to go to sudden death, which rarely ever happens to me, but you know, here I'm just sort of trying to get it so we can get the score back up to, you know, in our favor. Now this guy, I don't know how he was taking so many bullets, but he was. I think it's just because I was missing a lot of them. So, this guy's in the foul, that guy got sniped, and here we go, sudden death. You know, pretty much my idea at this part was to hang back, not rush out there right away, because you can see everybody, so it doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, even if I'm hiding back here, they know I'm back here. So, and you know, as my players start dropping, I sort of begin to realize, okay, I have to go out there. I have to. I'm the only one on this team that knows what they're doing. You know, that has an idea of how I'm supposed to play this out. So here, now this is where the cinema file doesn't show this player, but there was a player there that was moving and jumping and stuff like that. So I don't know what was up with that, but here we go. It's getting near the end of the game here. All I got to say is that this match was pretty good, I think. I covered some things I want to talk about. You know, like, I sort of probably rambled a bit. I didn't really talk about the gameplay too much. There really isn't much to say about it, really. Like, I'm just playing safe. Like, I'm playing pretty safe. Like, just hanging around the hammer area. So, hope you liked this commentary and gameplay. So, if you did, subscribe. Later.